Hello one, hello all, and here we are again with Coming Up for Air. Can you believe it's episode 5 already? We hope that we continue to cook up for you the best in local information, the most important current issues, and an excellent selection of entertainment. So on the menu today, we are proud to serve up. Keith Venables will then offer up his informative video on the NHS Motorcade. On July the 4th, a protest of cars and their banners drove from Derby Royal Hospital through to Babington and then on to the areas around Matlock. It was truly inspiring. Well, in at number 3, we have a tasty treat in the form of a short cookery class from Anne Sadler, who'll be using ingredients that you can buy from Oxfam, courtesy of Palestinian farmers. There's also a video discussing in more detail the products and also how you can support Palestinian farmers. It's a lot to digest next as we have a talk on anti-racism by actor Obioma Ugala. This is 5 minutes of clear and concise advice on how you can become a better ally and really truly support the Black Lives Matter movement. It's eye-opening, it's constructive, and it's a must-watch for anybody who really wants to be a better ally. Next, Salcare are doing a food bank with support from Central England Cooperative Society. The food bank continues to operate from St Andrew's Church at Langley Mill. This is essential work and essential provision in the current climate. And for your just desserts, we will have much in the way of music, as always, and entertainment. And this week it comes to us from the very talented TASH SULTANA, who is from the Fleet Under 18s music group. And we follow that with a song called Lonesome by Dwyer and Simon Mallett, who you will know probably as last year's mayor. Very gifted in many different ways. So, with all that in mind, it really only leaves my sign-off to represent our figurative meal completing coffee. So, like the aforementioned coffee, I leave you wide-eyed, ready to go, and possibly wondering why anybody finishes a meal with coffee. I mean, you wouldn't do it at home, would you? Would you? I don't know. Anyway, see you next time and do enjoy. As a response to the pandemic, Alfreton Town Councillor Hannah Jowett-Frost created the Facebook group Alfreton Support Network COVID-19. At the beginning, with the help of Alfreton Town Council, information leaflets were printed for every household. These detailed a volunteer name, a telephone number, and how they could help, for example, shopping, fetching prescriptions, chatting, and much, much more. The volunteers then decided which streets they could deliver to, and every single street in Alfreton was covered. Lots of people posted on Facebook if they needed anything, or indeed if they had anything that they could offer or an excess of a particular item. It all worked very, very well. From here, Hannah went on to set up a food bank with lots of donations of both food and money. This is still in use and lots of people are using it who sadly fell through the gaps with other food banks. Hannah and her friends delivered the food themselves. And Hannah did all of this whilst her business had been closed and she was working temporarily on nights at Tesco. An excellent initiative, an example of true community spirit in the very hardest of times. Really, really well done to everyone involved. Should you wish to, you can contact Hannah through Alfreton Town Council.
The last 10 years have been disastrous for our NHS. Government underfunding, fragmentation and privatisation made this country unready for the coronavirus. We have one of the highest proportional death rates in the world. But our NHS staff have done an amazing job, themselves in danger, getting personal protective equipment much too late, because of incompetent privatised supply chains. That's why the Derbyshire NHS Motorcade started at Royal Derby Hospital to thank the staff. We then moved on to Babington Hospital in Belper, a much-loved local resource that has been secretly closed down during the coronavirus pandemic. Important nurse beds are getting removed, but we will continue to fight for full nurse provision in Belper, Ilkeston and across the county. As the motorcade drove through Duffield, Milford and especially Matlock Bath, people on the streets applauded our motorcade, both because it's the 72nd anniversary of our NHS, but also because our banners demand proper staff funding, proper service, funded and looked after. We finally arrived in Matlock, where the County Council had said that the care homes, which themselves are essential to proper health and social care provision, would be flogged off to the private sector. The people of this county deserve better. We will fight and we will win.
Hello, my name's Anne Sadler and I'm a member of the Amber Valley branch of Unite the Community. Our branch of Unite is supporting Derbyshire Friends of Hebron, an organisation committed to advancing access to education for children and young people in Hebron and Hebron Valley in Palestine. One thing you can do to support them is to buy the lovely Zaytoon brand of delicious Palestinian food on sale in our local Oxfam shop in Belper. All of the products are sourced from Palestinian farmers. I've been trying some of them out. Za'atar, here's a jar of it here, this is what it looks like in there, is a zesty aromatic thyme herb mix, part and parcel of the Palestinian heritage, traditionally eaten as a dip with olive oil and bread or used to season meat, fish or roasted vegetables. It's made up of hyssop, ground sumac, hence the lemony taste, toasted sesame seeds and some salt. The chef, Yotam Ottolenghi, and I'm sure you've heard of him, describes it as sharp, warm and slightly pungent. I've had some in my kitchen for some time and use it, for instance, as a seasoning for roast chicken, a tomato salad or herb bread. Try whizzing up some beetroot that you've cooked, here's some here, and add to that, again whizzing up, clove of garlic, bit of chilli, however strong you like it, salt and pepper and some olive oil. When you've whizzed that up, add to it some Greek yogurt, and that's delicious with some crusty bread. Maftoul, Maftoul, is a nutty Palestinian whole grain made from bulgur and whole wheat flour, and it's a useful alternative to couscous and rice. Simmer some in water, or better still, simmer it in stock. You get a lot more flavour like that, for 20 minutes, and then use it as a base for salads or an accompaniment for stews. Freekeh is a green wind. I've got some in this jar, I've nearly used all mine, with a hint of smokiness, which you can add to soup or stews, or cook like rice or bulgur wheat. I like to use freekeh to make tabbouleh as part of a salad. So cook your freekeh in boiling salted water for 20 minutes and allow it to go cold. Here's mine gone cold here, so it's quite a chunky grain. It's very nutty, interesting, different from bulgur wheat. And then add to that some green herbs. Have enough herbs to equal the amount of freekeh that you've got. So I've got some here. So there's parsley there, chives, thyme, mint and a bit of marjoram. Chop those all up and add them to your freekeh, and then chop up some tomatoes, red onion and add black pepper and salt to that, and lastly the juice of half a lemon, and I think you'll find that just lovely. Well, those are the ingredients for freekeh, but the products that you can buy at Belper Oxfam from Palestine are za'atar, maftool, freekeh, madul dates, raw almonds and organic olive oil. Have a good time trying them out. Bye.
So, you don't like racism, but you live in the UK and feel powerless to do anything. My name is Obioma Yigola. I'm an actor and a writer. Over the past few weeks, I've had several conversations with friends of mine horrified at the events unfolding in the United States and unsure how to show their solidarity. This is a brief video offering a few suggestions. Firstly, let's acknowledge that global anti-blackness is a real thing. It manifests differently in different countries, but it has been an economic driving force for centuries. This is a fact, not an attack. Secondly, the UK has a history of atrocious crimes, from near or actual genocide to the pillaging of nations' natural resources. We can only move past this fact if we address it. We haven't, don't, and must. The question then is why? To Kill a Mockingbird and Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry are wonderful books for children and young adults. However, that they are the few books used to discuss racism in a UK classroom begins the lifelong myth that racism is a US problem. You can study history from the age of 7 to 21 in the UK classroom and never have to go into any depth about the UK's role in colonising and depriving nations of their freedoms, rights and resources. It is a glaring hole not only in our children's education, but by proxy, ours. As an adult, how can we begin to plug these gaps in our collective educational knowledge? The following book suggestions may offer a starting point, honestly telling Britain's past, present, and where we might go from here. First up is the Sunday Times bestseller, British, on Race, Identity and Belonging by F.W. Hirsch. Next is the award-winning Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Rennie Edo-Lodge. Following that is hip-hop artist and writer Akala's Natives, Race and Class in the Ruins of Empire. And finally is science writer and broadcaster Dr. Adam Rutherford's How to Argue with a Racist. And now for some frequently asked questions. Is Black Lives Matter only about the police? No, unfortunately not. So, whilst taser usage on black Londoners is 4 times that of their white counterparts, it extends further than just the justice system. Black Caribbean children, for instance, are 3.5 times more likely to be excluded at primary, secondary and special schools than all other peoples, whilst Premier League football players are to this day still suffering racist monkey chants that many had thought left back in the 1980s. Does this apply to me? I'm not racist. I don't see colour, I just see the person. We need you to see colour. If you can't or won't, how can you be an effective ally? How can you hear if somebody is making racist comments or see if your colleague is giving your black co-worker a hard time? In the words of Angela Davis, it is not enough to be non-racist. We must be anti-racist. And so, for anybody who wants to be an ally to the cause, I would offer these 4 suggestions. Firstly, educate yourself and others. That could be a book, a film, or a podcast. It could be your friend, lover, colleague, or children. Secondly, listen to, commission, and pay your black artists, writers, and speakers. Statements like, "you will be paid in exposure," will no longer wash and are not true allyship. Thirdly, speak up. Be that using your platform on social media, calling out your colleagues' missteps, or writing to your MP when you witness an injustice. You have more power than you know. It is very easy for brands, newspapers, and TV companies to tweet a hashtag, but your money speaks, so demand more. And lastly, accept that you will get it wrong sometimes. None of us are born knowing all of the answers. The writer Ijeoma Oluwo says the beauty of anti-racism is that you don't have to pretend to be free from racism to be anti-racist. Anti-racism is the commitment to fight racism wherever you find it, even if that's in yourself. So, I would offer, be brave in your humility. As the saying goes, this is not a moment, it's a movement. And the struggle continues tomorrow.
Hank Williams with a song for our times. I'm so lonesome I could cry.
Hear that lonesome whippoorwill, he sounds too blue to fly. The midnight train is winding low, I'm so lonesome I could cry. I've never seen a night so long when time goes crawling by. The moon just went behind a cloud to hide its face and cry. Did you ever see a robin weep when leaves begin to die? That means he's lost his will to live. I'm so lonesome I could cry. The silence of a falling star lights up a purple sky. And as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry. I'm so lonesome I